When comedy was about being funny, movies were about telling great stories, and you didn't need a political lecture every time you hit play. Great entertainment still exists, it's just getting harder to find. Even the biggest streaming platforms leave audiences disappointed. That's why there's Studio TST, pure entertainment, real comedy, independent films, bold creators, movies, comedy, music, and more, and the home of fearless sketch comedy. That show tonight, entertainment the way you want it. Funny, creative, unapologetic, and agenda-free. Studio TST, the future of entertainment starts here. Join Studio TST today for just $5 a month.
Hello, friends. Do you have a moment so that we may discuss our Lord and Savior Minarchy? No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Hi, my name's Rick Robinson. I am the general manager of KLRNradio.com. We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, special events, conspiratainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRNradio. You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at KLRNradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLRNradio.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Drinking champagne and loving you till the break of dawn. Not knowing the sound of bullets will soon be strong. Champagne and bullets, a dangerous pair.
Doesn't that just charge up the bloodstream? Welcome, everybody, to Thursday evening. This is your early introduction to the weekend. This is Disasters in the Making. I'm Brad Slager, getting ready to escort you down the dirty, dingy back alleys of Hollywood and bad movies. And we are continuing our summertime treatment where we have decided we're going to install our Mount Rushmore of bad movies. And our first entry is getting carved into the mountainside edifice as we speak. This is part 2 of our first entry, which is a gem of a movie called Champagne and Bullets. You probably haven't heard of this unless you've already watched it. But it is that bad. It is that good. In fact, it's so bad that my co-host bailed out on the second half of this show. He apparently was very damaged by our last appearance, in which we put on a 2-hour episode and only got 30 minutes into the film. Yes, there's that much content. And so I had to tap the shoulder of another bad movie aficionado, my Tuesday evening co-host, partner in crime, and basically my internet wife herself. Aggie Reekin is with us. How is everything out there, Aggie?
Well, my day was a lot better until I watched this movie.
Well, that was going to be my first question is, are you still talking to me?
Yes, I am still talking to you, barely, because I promised I would.
That's it. You're only doing this out of obligation at this point. So, yeah, Paul and I were kicking around, my usual co-host, Paul Young. we were talking about doing a summertime series where we're going to enshrine the worst movies, or I should say our favorite bad movies, because they're, worst is so subjective. But for us on this show, we're enshrining the very bad ones that we just hold so dear. And so we're starting off with a fresh one. This one came across my transom recently. A friend of mine hit me to this, and holy cow, how did I miss it is my question. So Paul had obligations, couldn't make this second episode. So first impressions, Aggie. what did you come away with on this one in general?
I'm pretty sure that both Wings Hauser and William Smith were high on meth when they did this movie, because there is no other explanation for this. None. I can't find one. I cannot find one that makes any sense in my head.
Yeah, we covered a little bit of that on the first one. Like, this is William Smith O'Vora. Okay, he wrote this, he directed it, produced it, shot it. I think. I mean, this is his baby entirely. Holy cow! What a stillborn piece of cinema this had become. As for Wings Hauser, and we talked about this last time, this is Cole Hauser from Yellowstone. Rip Wheeler himself. This is his father, and he passed away actually in March of this year, and so only added to the tribute. But I think I'm firmly convinced for his performance in this movie that Wings Hauser possibly never looked at a script. I really think every single scene of his was ad-libbed.
Completely. He it looked like he was having a lot of fun just walking through it. And frankly, he was like the highlight.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he was accidentally acting. Let's just put it that way.
He's about the only person in the entire cast imbued with any semblance of the acting skill, for one. And secondly, literally, you just see him in almost every scene just riffing. And I'm pretty convinced he showed up on set. It's like, okay, what are we doing today? What are they doing? I don't need a script. Just tell me what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to go with it, and then roll it. And so, William Smith, the creator of this, a completely inept guy for most part. Acting, please.
You mean John Hart, not Smith?
Well,
Smith actually had acting chops.
Yeah, that's the way it goes with this film too. You just get that dizzy with things. But he fancied, I guess this was his desire to enter into Hollywood. Like this, he was going to make this and prove himself to everybody. And as Paul and I even talked about, there's a random scene where he and the female character, like, she just says, "Oh, do the monologue," and he spends 5 minutes doing Shakespeare.
Yes.
For no reason. It doesn't have any bearing, semblance, or impact on the plot. It was really basically him auditioning on camera during the movie.
It was rather funny because I was like, okay, I've done Shakespeare, and that wasn't it.
Like, if you are, I wouldn't even call this a table read scene that he did. Basically, if you give this to somebody in class, like in high school, it's like, okay, you got the part of Othello. Can you read that? And they literally read it without trying to perform. They just read off the page.
Yeah.
He performed in that fashion.
Exactly. It was like he memorized it the way it was written as opposed to the way it was supposed to flow, because everybody makes this mistake with Shakespeare. They think it's written, it is poetically written. It's in an iambic pentameter, but you can actually make it flow like full sentences instead of taking those breaks at each line, each verse.
Yeah, and that's one of the, honestly, I don't like Shakespeare. I mean, not him, but because it has been so overwrought over the generations, of course. Everybody's got their own impact on it, their own take, their own read of it. And it's just, there's never anything natural about it. And it's just basically everybody that I've seen do Shakespeare are performing as opposed to acting. So, and when you see John DeHart do this, he's not even performing, he's reading. You could tell he memorized a monologue and spits out the monologue in very monochromatic, monotonous fashion. But that's him acting. So, as I said, Paul and I went through about 30 minutes of this film after 2 hours. So we'll just do a quick recap, and I'll let you throw in your impressions of the first act that you saw. Because there's a ton. Just to rehash, we're going to, do a little backstory. Hollywood technique right there. We begin with 3 cops who are allegedly sneaking up to a trailer by crouching next to a bush. Then they call out how they have the trailer surrounded with 3 people. Sure you do. And
Yes.
a gunfight breaks out because these guys surrounded the trailer by separating all of about 10 feet from each other. Wings Hauser catches a bullet. This is going to be a theme in the movie. Their, I guess, superior officer is a gentleman by the name of Normad. Did you happen to listen to our first episode?
I did not, unfortunately.
The reason he has the name Normad is that it was supposed to be Norman, but there was a typo on the script.
Oh my goodness.
And they just
No.
went with it. So they shot scenes by calling him Normad before somebody was like, what? Why are we? Isn't his name Norman? Yeah, well, we already got scenes in the can. So
I
he's
was trying to
Normad
figure
for the
that
rest of
out.
the film.
I was trying to figure that out because sometimes what they'll do is they'll take a regular name and then, put it backwards. So I was trying to read it backwards and I'm like, yeah, it still makes no sense.
Which leads to a really funny scene in this episode that we're going to cover later. But this basically what they're trying to do is converge on drug dealers in this trailer that's literally in the middle of the woods. I think they found an abandoned trailer and used it. No windows in this thing somehow. They get everybody, they kill everybody, but I guess the cops are in trouble. And Normad then is testifying against our 2 heroes. And during his testimony, he actually said this line: I saw them talking to a drug dealer. He was driving a Pandarer's vehicle. It had a myriad of fancy paint.
That was
I have absolutely no idea who speaks in this fashion. I'm unclear what a Pandarer's vehicle is. I've watched a lot of police procedurals, detective movies, CIA informant films. I pretty much have never heard Pandarer vehicle ever mentioned by anybody, let alone referred to in any capacity. But okay, he's a cop. I'm going with it. And this is Normad now, basically convicting his 2 former partners. And during this hearing, goes into grand detail to a room full of police officers on the procedure of snorting cocaine. You take some paper and you roll it into a tube. It will then be inserted into one nostril while your finger closes the opposing nostril, at which point in time you would inhale the line that you have prepared on a mirror or other flat surface. Dude, we're cops. We've seen coke consumed before. We've probably done it ourselves before work. All right, just move. Upon the inhalation of the holy shit, he's going. So this is what we're dealing with. And this basically is writer, director, performer, producer, star John DeHart trying to explain to the audience how he's, I don't know, like in the business or such. Oh, yeah, trust me, I know about cocaine snorting. I'll detail that on camera. Thanks. It's the 1990s. We're onto it. But they, basically they get kicked out of the police force now. Our 2 heroes, I guess we're going to call them.
Yeah, let's go with that.
This is Rick Bode and Huck Finn. Literally, he went with that name.
Yep.
Huck Huck Finn, that's Wings Hauser's character. Okay. A lot of crap happens. For some reason, Rick Bode then takes a job, and this is in the this movie was made in the early 90s. So this is before Uber, but he was a limo driver. He one night is driving a group of high schoolers, I guess, to prom or something. They all had to get out of the car at the same time to go to the bathroom. At which point he says, fed up with them, yells out the window, "Adiosi, Bella Lugosi."
It's like, why
And-
Bella?
and drives off, leaving them, I guess, in the woods.
I thought that was kind of weird because, personally speaking, if you're in a limo and it looked like a very uncomfortable limo, like it wasn't big enough. It looked like a Lincoln Town car, maybe, but not a true limo that they were in. If and you need to go to the bathroom, you would think that you could like ask to be taken to a gas station. You wouldn't say, "Hey, pull over so I can, go." You're going to the prom.
Well, that was one of my questions too. Is like, where's this prom at that they have to drive through miles of scrub brush to get to the gymnasium or wherever it's being held? Usually, it's in town. Is my point.
Hmm.
But no, there were no Taco Bells or anything to pull over to. We're just gonna hop out and drain right there in the scrub brush, I guess. Adiosi, Bella Lugosi, and he's off and beach cheeks into the horizon. Okay. Again, this movie is filled with scenes like this that have no bearing on anything else that happens later. Nobody in the car contributed to the film. Him driving a limousine had nothing to do with anything else that happens in this movie. Why we had that 10-minute scene makes zero sense. But he ends up coming home after his shift, I guess, to his roommate, Huck, who's ironing jeans, but not using cornstarch to get the wrinkles out. He pours Budweiser on his jeans and then irons them.
Because he's going to a country and western bar and needs to smell like he fits in. I don't know. I have no idea.
Are you new here? Sniff, sniff. No, you must be a regular. I guess. But, and this is also the very first scene in which we see Huck Finn's mannequin Indian on the sofa. He's apparently watching TV while ironing his jeans and turns over his shoulder and has a conversation with this inanimate mannequin
Yeah.
that will appear throughout the movie for no reason.
It's kind of like they're trying to make it a Deus Ex Machina, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea why
Well,
this thing is there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this in the very first scene, and I'm, of course, the concept of Chekhov's gun is probably very beyond the scope and range of John DeHart, the filmmaker, but that's the common practice that if, a gun shows up in the first scene of a movie, it has to play itself into the plot by the third act. If you show something, it's for a purpose. In other words, this Indian has no purpose. It's just, I really think it was Wings Hauser just, would be cool and doing it. It shows up at a scene in the pool. It shows up later when,
Yeah, that pool scene was pretty funny.
yeah, and also pointless, but
Well, yeah. Well, we'll talk about it when you get there. But yes.
Mhm. We will. And then they go to a bar later, the two of them, allegedly a country western bar that looks very suspiciously like somebody's basement with video games in it.
Yeah.
And
What was the budget for this movie? $25. And all the meth you can have? I don't know.
Yeah, that might have broken the bank actually if they went that route. But yeah, John DeHart then comes in, and we're led to believe that everybody is demanding to hear him sing, including a ex-lover of his who's on site, who he's very bothered at seeing and yet can't stop talking to. And then Finn and others are like, so you're going to sing, aren't you? And he's like, oh, come on, I can't. No, you must sing. And he proceeds to go up there and sings the most inane song, the Scoot and Shuffle or whatever the hell is called. And it's just,
I don't know.
Ponderous 10 minutes of him talking about at a place where he dances. I'm sitting in my chair and I don't want to dance, but then my stove starts stepping and then you get up to dance and then I meet you and my hips start to sway as we play to the music that we hear every single day. And he sings in that fashion. And while he's performing, Ramrod straight at the microphone, staring straight ahead because you can tell he's reading the lyrics off of a cue card.
Oh yes. And of course, he's singing this shuffle thing and people are doing the line dancing thing and you're looking around and going, I've never seen such a it's like super bright in there. Everything is painted white. And I'm like, I've been to country or western bars. I've never seen them like this. But you're right, it looked like somebody's basement.
Yeah.
And there were like maybe 3 or 4 women that were doing the line dancing to make it seem like it was a crowd.
Yeah. This entire scene comprised of about 2 camera angles. You saw just barely the end of the bar, the place where they walk in, and a couple of video games. And then they turn the camera to where he is performing and or where the people will be dancing.
Yes.
So that's it for our set design. And he's reconnecting now with Cindy, the comely blonde from his past, who just happens to be a former Playboy playmate. Not in the plot. I'm talking about in real life. That's why she was cast in the role.
And you know what? Now that I'm gonna check the stash of Playboys that I have from the 70s and see if I find her in it.
You have a stash of Playboys.
I don't want to talk about it, but yes, I do.
Well,
wait,
I bought it.
You can't say something like that and then not want to talk about it. That's not how any of this
works. Given the nature of this show, we are definitely talking about this.
Okay, so a few months back, I want to say it was last year sometime, I went to an estate sale and the woman wanted to get rid of a bunch of stuff that was in the shed. And there were a bunch of boxes in there. And she said it's a bunch of magazines that were my husband's, $10 per box. And we opened them up and they were all Playboys from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I'm like, I need to find the Shannon Tweed. We are buying all of them. And so we did. We spent $40 and we must have at least, I don't know, 300 or 400 Playboys in the storage unit. But
damn, how big is this box? See, this is why
they were big boxes.
All right, so that's my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. So
it was my idea. I will own it. It was my idea to buy them because I wanted to find the one with Shannon Tweed because I love her. I do.
There you go. Well played.
I mean, same, but still.
No, you're just exhibiting your good taste.
I am.
So I'm just going to run through the shimmy slide real quick here. Some of the lyrics. I had a couple beers and I'm feeling just right. I'm sweating all over because your dress is so tight. Trying to act cool, but you just don't stop. Come on, pretty baby. You make me so hot. It's time to go home. So you jump in your car. I know I got to stop you because my heart is on fire. You say jump in, let's go for a ride. Maybe we'll do the shimmy slide.
Oh my God.
I apologize for the rather stiff reading of that, but I was emulating the performance on camera of our star director, producer, writer, financer, singer,
caterer. He was also the caterer. I'm pretty sure he was a boom boy. He must have been a Foley artist. He must have been everything. He
Well,
probably did the makeup too.
at this point in time, we have a semblance of a plot emerging. 4 individuals walk in. They have very caustic attitudes about this, quote, country bar, unquote, in Los Angeles. And they're harassing Cindy, the blonde, at the bar. Apparently, there's a past.
Dun, dun, dun.
So our hero wraps up his song, and the band keeps playing an instrumental version of said song while a girl just randomly starts stripping. Okay. And one of the girls also in the bar is grossed out by this to the extent that she's so disgusted she calls the police while never actually able to peel her eyes away from the disgusting girl dancing naked.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was like,
It literally, we have a Karen from 1990. She calls up the cops and is like, there's people here having fun and someone's getting naked. You got to come over here and stop this immediately. And then her best friend turns to her and is like, I don't know what you're getting upset about. It's just like Sunday school compared to what I saw in your apartment last Friday. Damn, honey, put the claws away. Why don't you? Jeez. And then she's like, yeah, but that's private. That's not in public, man. Okay, so she just called you a complete skank whore at home, and you're grossed out by one individual dancing by herself. Huh? Okay.
and she wasn't that impressive. I mean, I'm just going to put that out there.
And
She had no hips whatsoever. I'm so catty. Go on.
I know, but see, and I'm from the male perspective where if someone's willing to do that, I'm not really going to complain.
You're not going to complain.
Yeah. Oh no, she took her clothes off. Can I have another beer? You know, it's like that kind of thing. But there's this elderly woman, and I'm going to peg her, I don't know, 50s, 60s or so, who's apparently very good friends with our hero. She's over the moon about this naked girl dancing. She's like, this is so great. Oh my, I love this. And wow. Just talk about streaking out of the closet, Grandma. Okay. More power to you, I guess. It is Pride Month after all. So, because of the phone call, the cops show up. A somewhat version of a fight breaks out right when the police arrive. And in the process, Huck Finn gets arrested. Bear in mind, I said at the start that Huck was a cop, correct?
Yes.
The thing he does throughout this movie, and I'm talking about at the opening cop scene, the hearing, at this arrest at the bar, later on at a event at his home, he's always slugging police officers throughout this movie. It seems to me like the boys in blue are usually on the same team, but not Huck Finn. He apparently hates cops while a cop. Kind of an odd choice there, but let's run with it. So he gets arrested. Everybody then has to go to the jail to bail him out in a scene that you could have pretty much done in 10 seconds, but has to play out for 10 minutes. A bail bondsman by the name of Freddie Motion comes up, and boy, was this guy performing for the agents. Hey, I'm an actor. Hey, get a load of me. I'm a bail bondsman. And hey, you can sign these sheets, sign this paper. That's me, bail bondsman. Don't forget about me. Literally, that was his performance for about 5 minutes. There was a cop behind a counter who was just very polite, very helpful, pretty damn deficient. They bail Huck Finn out of jail, and then Rick Bode, our hero, turns to him and is like, hey, here's a quarter. Go buy a personality.
I know.
Why is he being shitty to the cop that was the most helpful person in the place? But I guess that it shows you what kind of guy Rick Bode is. He's a no-nonsense wise cracker.
Well,
I
my
guess.
guess was he was trying to he liked that line and he had to put it somewhere, and unfortunately the cop got the brunt of it.
Listen, it's going to sound insulting, but the good news is you're never going to turn your back from the camera. We're only going to see the back of your head the whole time, so you won't be insulted. Wait, I'm in a movie and nobody sees me, and then you're going to insult me. Got it. Where do I sign up for that role? So now Rick and Cindy have effectively reconnected. They go to a restaurant, and it's like he desperately wanted Rick to be the center of attention wherever they go.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Rick. Oh, you're here. Hey. Oh. The most bland individual on the planet. Supposedly has his own table. The maitre d' knows him by name. The owner comes out to personally hand select. Shut up. Because Rick does this. I'm going to tell you a joke. This is how he endears himself to the general public. Tells the joke. He calls it a position joke. Have you ever heard that expression before?
No. That was I was like a what now?
This is on par with Panderer Vehicle. Like, did he? I think he's maybe trying to concoct phrases that he's expecting to go viral.
He's trying to make fetch happen, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
When my movie comes out, everybody is going to be telling position jokes. And I'm sorry, these are not grand jokes of any capacity that people would be impressed with. It's, doctor, the woman's nervous and she takes off her clothes in the dark so she's not embarrassed. Hey, just put them on top of my clothes. Hey, wow. Try to fish, folks. Oh, my God. Position jokes. So they're force feeding us. Rick is just a hell of a guy. Everybody loves Rick. Sure, whatever. So he and Cindy are now back in love, I guess. They're back at his house. They're sitting in a swing chair together, and she has to unburden herself. This is pretty much where Paul and I left off last episode. Cindy has a dark past.
Yeah, I got it. I will say it was dark.
And we have a Satanist flashback. You heard me.
Yeah.
So she has to. The flashback involves basically someone else's basement. Everybody's wearing black robes. There's a shit ton of candles to be found everywhere. I think that's what burst the budget more than anything was the wax. There's a big display in the front. Everybody's sitting in rows, in rows. And the leader in a black hood keeps saying stuff, and the rest of the crowd keeps repeating, and bless unto you, Satan, and bless unto you, Satan, whatever. And then the leader of the coven takes his hood down, and we find out it's Normad.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, I'm sorry, the former police captain who turned in his partners for no reason is also
that was weird.
Satanist.
That was weird because I was trying to figure out why it was that they convened this inquiry and what led to that, because he had been the Satan whatever. Normad, whatever. He had been the one that caused Huck to get hurt and that shootout. And now he was like turning against the two of them and was responsible for them getting canned. But why? There was never a connection there.
They killed most of the bad guys and they did what they came there to do. Sure, okay, Huck got winged a bit. Caught some stray lead, that happens. But for the most part, it was a successful mission by my reckoning. And he concocts this entire story about them being in cahoots with drug dealers and they're doing drugs on the side. They've come in with dilated pupils on some days and talk to the guy in the Panderer vehicle. They're guilty. I don't know why, but now we find out he's also a Satanist on the side. His side hustle is sacrificing babies.
Yeah, that was kind of
What?
dark.
And
Whoa.
so somehow we don't even really, as she's telling Rick this story, we don't really learn how she fell in with this bad crowd, but they see the baby brought up to the front and she's very upset. They lay the baby on the lectern and Normad has a knife out and she just loses her mind. She's against it, screaming and yelling. Then they tie her up to an X board in the back room, conveniently enough, and then she has to witness the baby kind of sort of being killed. It's like Normad slowly brings the knife down repeatedly. We never see blood. We never see anything indicating the infant actually bought it, but we have to buy into the fact that it did. So, okay.
Right.
So this happened. I'm not sure why. She was at the Satanist thing, but then she didn't like what she saw. So it wasn't like she was a secret Satanist or anything. She's like, wait, you people are freaks. I don't like this. Well, tie her up. We don't like her anymore. And apparently she got away at some point.
Yeah. So they have the gist was that they've been on the hunt for this chick for a while.
Yeah, she apparently escaped. I don't know where the coven was because they pretty much strolled into a country bar and ran into her.
I didn't get that either because supposedly it happened in Hollywood, but she left Hollywood and the coven followed to her hometown where everybody was. I don't understand.
It's like the four guys from the coven, we later find out, they pretty much just showed up at the bar. It wasn't like they were staking things out or, okay, we got the goods. She's hanging out with this guy at this bar. We're going to tail her. No, Rick didn't even know she was there. He ran into her at the bar. And then these four assholes just show up arbitrarily as well. Very convenient for the script writer. Rather inconvenient for the audience trying to piece together just what the hell's going on. So she's unburdening to Rick all of this and falling apart and crying and everything else. And he says, we'll power through this. Okay. And then they go inside and have sex in front of the fireplace.
Yeah, that was after Champagne. Because don't forget, this originally was called Champagne and Bullets. And Champagne featured prominently in this film.
It was at the restaurant. It's at the
In front
house.
of the
It's
fire,
at the love scene.
the love scene. Yeah, there was there was champagne.
This movie wasn't a false sell. So, okay. And I love the music in the background, which was really music in the foreground during this love scene, because it sounds like a duo from the Holiday Inn Lounge was in the living room with them. Like it wasn't like soft background music that wafts over them. It was like if the camera turned 3 degrees to the right, I'm pretty sure we'd see somebody with a Casio keyboard right there while they're screwing. It was like really uncomfortable feeling, but okay, go with it. Right before they make love too, then she pulls out like, I don't know, some kind of stuffed animal or something. And he says to her, oh, that's one of Duke's friends. And he takes it and throws it off camera.
Who the hell is Duke?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. So I didn't miss something because I kept rewinding that part, trying to figure out when they talked about Duke.
Same. And I think he made an allusion like they were staying at Duke's house. Not because it clearly wasn't his apartment that he's with Finn.
Clearly not.
This place has a nice yard. Very nice, interior fireplace.
It's clean. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a preponderance of empty Budweiser cans everywhere. You know, it was actually a respectable joint. So he's
And
at Duke's place.
it was cleaned with like cleaning supplies as opposed to using beer.
Yes. I just pour that on the stain; it'll come right out there. But it's a beer stain. Making my point for me. Do it. No, who? Yeah, we never Duke. What? Huh? Okay. You know, and then there's another scene at the bar, and that went nowhere. So Rick even says to the barmaid, for no reason whatsoever, you know, do you want to? What did he say? It was like another scene from Shakespeare that he was alluding to. Like, do you want to hear what Hamlet wrote? They're like, nah,
Yes.
not right now. You have no goddamn class. He says in classy fashion. Okay.
This guy had a bug about Shakespeare. I was just trying to make it make sense.
This is Rick Bode, the actor, trying to show Hollywood that he's a thespian. I can also do Shakespeare if this goddamn bartender would let me monologue. But she didn't. In his movie.
It would have been nicer if he just spoke in a Shakespearean fashion when he was asking for a beer. That would have gone over a lot better than what he tried to do.
Forsooth, yon wench, please make with the mead post haste.
Yes, exactly. That would have been funny.
But,
Ridiculous, but still funny.
then we cut to a scene with Huck at home, who's now in the process of an emotional breakdown, is best way I can describe it. He's distraught, lost his woman, lost his job. You know, it's one of those Hollywood things where individual goes through like significant
Everything.
losses.
Mm-hmm.
He takes each one of his bills from the mail and shoots them. So, like, he's got a phone bill where he owes $50. Son of a bitch, I don't have the money. And shoots the paper bill and then throws it in the toilet. Electric, I owe $85. Blammo. Toilet.
I know. But it was funny, the one that he was holding, click, 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 and then finally, boom. But when they show all of the bills and everything in the toilet, not a single bullet hole or splintered tile is to be found. Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with it. It's like, great, you shot the bill. That bullet had to go somewhere, son. You know, you're going to have a drywall bill pretty soon.
And I don't know anybody out there has ever shot at tile before. I've seen the aftermath. I've never been involved in that, but I've seen the aftermath. And let me tell you, that stuff shatters and sends little shards out.
Yeah, porcelain tends to
yes.
become very shard powder is basically the best way to describe it.
I mean, seriously, it's and I know for a fact that Wings Hauser understands this to be part of, real life, but it's like he didn't care.
Oh yeah,
he just didn't care.
Okay, yeah. So Wings, in this scene, you're going to be upset at the house. You know, things are going bad for you. Okay, I got it. I know exactly what I'm. Camera ready? Go for it. I'm ready. Son of a bitch, phone bill, blam. Damn it. Electric bill, blam. So Rick comes home and they have a discussion, and they have a court case coming up, and then Rick says, "Oh man, this is not good for us because Normad is the judge." This guy is like, I'm sorry, does he do everything? So he's a former captain, he's a superior officer, he's a coven leader, and now he's a judge.
Yep.
A pretty damn convenient villain right there. I mean,
the only villainous thing that was missing was being a dentist. That was it. He covered every other base.
I'm very surprised they didn't have him be the mailman that delivered the bills. I mean, why in the hell not? It's like this guy's delivering all the bad news that needs to happen in the film. Why not do that too? It just so I'm trying to figure out how you segue within what that the time frame in this movie, of course, probably within a year, let's say.
Hmm.
How do you go from being a police captain to a judge in that short period of time?
You don't.
I mean,
Unless, I don't know, the entirety of the city council and everybody is under the spell of Satan, because you're
ooh,
also
okay, okay. Yeah,
the leader of the coven. So
basically, Normad is the Forrest Gump of villains. Just
pretty
whatever
much.
we need him to be, he's going to be the bad guy. So it's like we're
And,
going
and
to
you could
court.
tell he was having a little fun with this role because because it made no sense.
Oh yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to just completely sink my teeth into this. You need a bad cop? I'm him. You need a Satanist? Done.
I'm
I was at a coven this weekend. I know what's going on. Bad judge? Hey, I can be as corrupt as any asshole. Okay. So, and we talked about this earlier too. Now, pretty much every scene basically has to have women getting naked for arbitrary reasons. I'm going to go with the word gratuitous.
yes.
Just that kind of thing. So we have a scene at home with Huck.
With Huck. Hmm.
Ex-wife, I believe it is, comes in and he's on the sofa, half drunk, doesn't want to deal with her. Blah, blah, whatever, get the hell out of it. She starts raging at him, screaming at the guy. You're good for nothing, 2-4 flushing, whatever the hell else, and then just reaches to her shoulder, unfastens something on her shirt, and strips and bares her breasts. And you're not gonna get these anymore. You see, you understand what I'm.
But you divorced him, so why would you think that he would get them in the first? Again, I don't. I've never been divorced, but I'm pretty sure that if I were to go through a divorce, I would not be telling my divorced husband that he was not going to get his hands on my personal property again, simply because that was implied.
Yeah,
You know?
generally comes with the paperwork, right? I mean, here's the thing: you
Exactly.
could actually just reference them.
Mhm.
You're never gonna get these again, and just kind of point in the general area of your chest. I think he'll pick up on it. But no, she had to be demonstrative and actually rip her blouse open and expose her breast entirely for him. I'm not going to question her methods.
And calls the cops to report him as having assaulted her.
Yeah, so the police show up, and now conveniently she has a unfastened top. He comes out to meet the cops. He's like, no, this crazy broad, she started this whole thing. He's like, yeah, but sir. And then Huck has to go ahead and slug the cops because that's what he does. The former cop could only hit police officers. And this means now he has to go in front of Judge Normad at some point, but
Mhm.
not before we get a jail scene.
Oh yeah.
So there's Huck Finn sitting down in a jail cell, because that's what you do. You sit on the floor in a jail.
He's like on a rug or because I don't think that mattress was up against. But then again, I started thinking maybe it was the bed was up against the bars, and the reason for that
I
is the
guess.
mop.
Well,
Because he had to reach down to get the stuff. So that's what made me think that he was actually in a bed. But he's sitting there cross-legged, and then he has his arms up above his head, grabbing the bars. And I'm
mhm.
going, that is some weird posture. It's almost like he's showing his body off or
Well,
something.
it
I
looks
don't
good
know.
on camera. It makes for a good shot because it was a very dark scene, backlit. It framed him rather well. I'm going to say, made absolutely zero sense that anybody would sit
Yeah, it
this.
made no sense, but pictorially, I guess it was it looked good, I guess.
So yeah, while he's there in this posture, the night crew comes by mopping the floor, walks away, and leaves the bottle of bleach within reach. So what does Huck Finn do? Reaches through the bars for the bottle of bleach and drinks it because, of course, you do that.
I gotta give props to the janitor. He actually did a fair job doing what he did because he was a far better actor than the headliner.
You actually believed he was a janitor.
I believed he was a janitor.
So, and, I love this movie so much. So now, because of him consuming bleach and not at the direction of Donald Trump, mind you, he's in the hospital and he gets visited by a nun who.
Dude, I was dying.
Well, here's a trivia question for you, Aggie. What is the significance of this nun in the movie?
Usually, if a nun is visiting you, it's because you have listed your faith as being Catholic, and so either that or you were placed in a Catholic hospital for treatment. But
So you're going way deep.
I am. That's
You're-
me.
Yeah, you're.
Okay, what do you?
I'm going to steer you back to the shore here where this movie resides because this is this movie. She becomes the only female in this picture that doesn't get naked at some point.
She does not get naked. However, there's a where she is talking to him, and apparently Huck, aka Wings Hauser, is laying there, and he's pouring himself a glass of water or something, and he's just like he ad-libbing. I'm very sure he ad-libbed the entire scene because she
Oh, yeah.
could not hold it together. She busted out laughing. And you could see it.
Like he wants nothing to do with her. He's barking at her. It's like, "Oh, give me a break." And she's spouting off these platitudes. And she says to him, "People with no shoes should not complain because there are others with no feet."
Yes.
I had to stop the movie at that point and just let that marinate for a while in my head. I was like if that was in a fortune cookie and you read that, what would your reaction be?
Even as a Catholic, I would be like, what the hell?
So if you have no shoes, you can't complain because some people out there have no feet. And he looks at her like, huh? And then he looks down because he doesn't have shoes on because he's in bed in a hospital. He's like, what? Like he was staggered by that. So this is why I love the movie. Now it even gets better. He gets visited by Rick and Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
I
like,
thought you were about to say he gets visited by 3 ghosts, but never mind.
Oh, no. That's way beyond the skill set of our director, writer, producer, star, singer, editor. They come in and they're, consoling him. Good thing you're doing better. Rick says this to him. Hey, you did that bleach thing, didn't you?
That bleach thing. I'm like, is this a repeat?
This is like a method of his, like things go sideways. He just drinks bleach. He's known for doing this. And it wasn't, like Rick is a gas or anything. It's like, hey, so you're in. Oh, so you did it's a Clorox thing again, isn't it? Okay, cool. When are you getting out, by the way?
I was like,
drinking bleach is normal in their world. I don't even know what to do at this point. What is like? This is like you're on a roller coaster and the safety bar just springs up and you're on the ride and you're like, F it. I'm either going flying or this is going to be the best ride of my life. This is where I'm at in this film now. And now we have a grand scene where for reasons I'm unclear about, which again, par for the course in this movie, Rick drives Cindy to her parents' house. My God, do I love these people.
That was the most bizarre thing ever.
Her father, the guy playing her father, like acting is not anything that has ever been on his radar before that day.
No, I'm pretty sure he was the boom guy.
Yes. I mean, okay, we're at the front door, and then John, the director, probably turned to the people behind the camera. Hey, anybody want to be dad today?
That was pretty much it. The mother was no better. I think she was even more over the top or under it. I'm not sure how to describe it, but
Well,
it was
apparently they're extremely devout evangelical people. Cindy is not, and she was coming there to claim some of her things.
Yeah, she just wanted her clothes.
And, Dad answers the door, is like, oh, what are you doing here? Are you on drugs? Are you with those Satanist people? Dad says this to her, what, 4 or 5 times in their conversation?
Yeah, and I found it kind of interesting that she never refuted him. Did you notice that? I was like, girl, you can tell him, no, I've changed. But no, she never did.
Nailed it, Dad. Can I have my clothes, please? We're sick and tired of your actions, Cindy. You and your Satanists and drug friends that you have. Who's this guy with you? Another Satanist? Are you on drugs? And he's like, no. Rick actually says to him, I don't do drugs or worship the devil. I'm supposed to believe that. That is what a Satanist would say. That's for certain.
The bizarre thing was that she introduced him like he was a cop for 7 years. And then she had to throw in, and now he's driving a limo. Like, girl, that's not a step up. You could have just stopped that he was a cop for 7 years. That was it.
Yeah, well, she can't really sell Rick to begin with, because when they were reconfiguring the relationship in the bar, he's like, well, I'm not a cop anymore. She's like, wow, what happened?
I'm not for sale.
She
She can't sell me because I'm not for sale. Oh, wait, wrong Rick. My bad.
Yeah, not you, sorry. But she said, what happened when you left the police force? She's like, quit, got fired. What's the difference? Wow, let's reconcile. I love you.
Yeah, that was pretty bizarre, but okay.
So mom and dad can't stop accusing her of being a drug-addled Satanist, and then he goes inside to get her things, 2 boxes, which he promptly throws in the yard, and she says, you don't have to be rude, Dad. Don't you talk to your father that way, you Satanist. And the whole time Rick is just like standing there in his leather pants. I'm not doing drugs or worshiping Satan. Not me, of course. Nope. Now, that's, again, the entirety of the scene, and served no purpose to the movie. I have no idea why we had to go to mom and dad's house. There's nothing in the boxes that leads to anything later.
And the way they just threw the boxes out there, like she had like 5 shirts and 2 pairs of pants. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, both boxes are like a 3x3 cube. And it's just,
Yeah. I was like, I would hate to go to and say, I want my clothes. And they would spend literally 2 days trying to pack up all my shit.
no, she's probably has a warm-up outfit, a couple of headbands, a slicker, some socks,
But that's another thing. She's been an adult for all this time. She's living somewhere. I don't know where. I think with her mother, with her real mom. So she's got clothing. Why would you want to go back and get your clothes from your dad and the stepmom when you know that it's a hostile situation?
Well, see, I'm going to help you out here, Aggie, because I'm the one that infected you with this movie. So I want to help.
Yeah, you did.
Here's the thing. The best thing to do with this movie is stop asking questions. There are no answers. Okay. I've had a ton of them, and I watched this a few times, and not a single one of them ever gets addressed or even approached. So do not burden your mind with such trivialities as,
Done.
a
I'm
plot,
not
logic,
asking.
pragmatism. No, no place in this movie. So they get in his Jeep. The mom and dad live on, nice little parcel in California there, but they're definitely out in the mountainous area, right? Gravel.
Mhm. Yeah.
He starts up his Jeep and peels away, and we hear the sound of tires screeching on asphalt for about
Yes.
15 seconds in dirt.
Yes. And you can tell that he's kicking up dirt, but it sounds like he's on concrete or asphalt, and I'm wet asphalt at that. And I'm like,
Sounds
what
like he's
in
at
the
the drag
world?
races while he's leaving a rooster tail of sand behind him. It's like, I just love this movie to death.
I don't know who the Foley artist was, but apparently he also had fun ad-libbing.
Earned his money, he did.
Hmm.
So now they go back to Huck's place, I think. He's in the pool, shallow end. He's in jeans. He's in a long sleeve blue shirt.
Yes.
And it's like, is he delivering a sermon? He's like,
I don't know, but there were two women on long floating
well, eventually.
loungers.
The thing
Eventually.
it's just him in frame, and he's like,
Yes,
and we need to actually go out.
the mannequin
and
is sitting out there. He's not
indeed.
he's not in the pool. The mannequin's actually on a
there's a bench
lounge chair
outside
or
of the
something, yeah.
stairs of the pool, and there's the Indian. And Finn is like, life is about consequences, and you face them, and what the hell is going on? And then he finally waves these two broads in that are on rafts. They're topless, but they never turn over. They're laying on their stomachs.
But they were wearing thongs. So
Yes, they were.
again, hipless, but whatever.
It was the 90s, Aggie, okay?
I know.
Hips weren't in back then.
I guess not.
We were all about the slenderness and the, svelte nature of things.
Yeah, I never fit. But go on.
It was a digital age, so the hourglass figure had no place.
Whatever.
But I was just disappointed because for the first time we had naked women, but we didn't see them naked. They didn't turn over from the rafts, and it's like, man, what happened to the director here? You're letting me down, son. But so Huck is still losing his mind, going off on his, I don't know, lecture, sermon, whatever you want to call it. And then Rick shows up, and he sees his best friend in the shallow end in full clothing, losing his mind, and he's like, "Wow, you're really out there, aren't you, buddy?" Like, that's the extent of his concern for his best friend, who's clearly having a breakdown. He's like, "Wow, it's you seem to be adrift there a little bit. Okay, I have news about me now." And he announces to his friend that he and Cindy are now going to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, by the way, Saturday.
Yeah. Be there or be square.
And he fumbles through. He's like, well, of course, it's like there can't be anybody else. There's only one person on the planet. You're going to be my best man.
I'll give him credit. He showed up sober and in a nice shirt.
Did he though? Because I was watching him in the background, and he's in like this.
Maybe he was.
Well, it's
the shirt was clean.
Yeah, he was wearing a suit that was the color of like a plant pot.
Yeah, it was kind of odd, but
It was
whatever.
not quite brick. It was okay, but he's in the background. He's got sunglasses on, and he keeps like tilting his head back and leaning into the sun, and not even paying attention to the ceremony, such as it was. But yeah, they ended up getting married, and we have this drawn out sequence where they kiss, but then everybody has to hug them, and we have to watch as they systematically hug everybody twice. Her and
Mhm.
then Rick.
And then
And then I gotta hug another. Again, we get it. 5 seconds would have wrapped this up. Let's okay, keep going. Well, there there was a scene now where um I guess this was artistic. It's sundown. It's shot behind Rick and Cindy with the sunset. They're in shadow silhouette, kind of, sort of having a conversation, but it wasn't really well done. And he talks about how he has to get even with Normad to protect her. And she keeps saying, Normad. Normad. Why does that name ring a bell? Normad. As if she would confuse him with any other Normad that she had heard in her
I was
life.
going to say this is the worst foreshadowing ever, because either her brain is fried then, because there's only one guy named this. I mean,
You've never heard this name ever in your life, and the one time you did was at a Satanist coven meeting. That kind of sticks with you. Okay, that's not like a hazy memory in your past. Oh wait, was I in a coven once? I seem to think something with a baby. No, you were in a Satanist coven where they killed a kid. You'll flash back every single damn day with that, and Normad was the leader. You're not fuzzy about these details, honey. Sorry. But gradually, our blonde Cindy starts to put it together and comes to the conclusion, it's like, that's where I've heard him from.
yeah, she sees his picture after the wedding. She's combing her hair or something, or I don't know.
Yeah,
But
Rick
she
has a
sees-
photograph from their old days on the mantle.
Yeah, that's where it was. And
You know,
and I'm
when
gonna,
the guy screws your life over, kicks you out of your career, and
And you keep
ruins your
a-
personal life, I'm going to hang on to those mementos, of course, and display them prominently. Hey, who's this guy in the middle with your arm around you? Oh, him. He ruined my entire life, and everything that's going on is a consequence of that, and everything that's going on and that in my existence is ruined to cinders because of him. God damn, I love those glasses. He just looks so great next to me. No. You're cutting his head off in the photograph, burning it in the fireplace, flushing it down the toilet, or shooting it with a gun, a la Huck. But no. Rick keeps these mementos around the house.
yeah, I was just like, you didn't burn that because I would have tossed it or burned it or something.
Well, speaking of Normad, he has a
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
meeting at his house with a couple of the guys, and tells them, and literally the one guy's name is Scar. You know why?
because
'Cause
he has a scar running down one side of his face.
That's about 3 feet long from his forehead to the earlobe.
Again, I'm pretty sure that the director, star, writer, producer of this film was also the makeup artist.
Gee, I wonder where he got that nickname from.
Oh my goodness. I was like, what? That's a scar. I didn't think it was a scar. It looked painted on. It didn't even look like a
No.
scar because it was like a really dark color. They didn't even make it seem like it was just light pink.
It looked like
you know?
he painted a bookshelf and then fell asleep on it while it was still wet.
Yes.
But Normad, I swear, throughout this movie, he doesn't, as we saw like during his testimony and everything else, has to explain things in such a drawn out fashion. I don't know if it was the script or if this was him boosting his own role.
The way this has gone, I'm pretty sure it was the latter.
I know, but
Seriously.
it also, like, he doesn't seem to be, like chewing up the scenery in the same way that Wings Hauser is. So I'm almost thinking it's John DeHart's script, but basically he's telling his two henchmen, you got to go get the broad. What'd that take me? 3 seconds?
Yes.
Right? No. He has to explain it to him for 5 minutes. Okay. We know where she's currently residing and she's with him and they've gotten married. I need the two of you to go and acquire her. You need to go out there and get her. You understand? I don't care how you do it. Take care of him. You get it. But you understand. Listen to me now explaining to you. You have to go get the girl and take care of her and wipe her out and kill her. Hey, I'm telling, and do it quietly. Don't get caught. I don't want trouble from this. Meanwhile, I'm checking my watch, waiting for the henchman to absorb all of this intricate plot of killing a girl. So they're driving along and they find out where she is because they see a motorcycle in front of a house.
Yeah. They see the motorcycle and apparently they're like, oh yeah, this is the place. And I'm like, they know his motorcycle? I thought they were tailing her, not him.
We've
But-
never seen this motorcycle.
The motorcycle
before.
this is the first time you see the motorcycle in the entirety of the film.
The house has this
Because-
huge hedgerow, and there's like a angled driveway up to the. As they drive by, you see he's like, "Oh, there's the motorcycle. She's here."
Yeah, it's a 2-foot opening, with stairs so that you can enter into the plaza right before you reach the door to the front of the house. And there's a motorcycle parked there. But throughout the entire thing, you've only seen him in either the limo or the Jeep.
Yes.
And now there's a motorcycle. And I'm like, how wealthy is this guy?
Well, there was also a van earlier too. Remember when they were doing
The van.
the archery lesson? And
Yes, the van.
So they drive by. It's like, okay, she's here. We got her. Rick and Cindy come out and get on the motorcycle, and Rick pulls on a helmet. Doesn't give it to the girl.
I know,
God
he puts it on.
He
then
wears
she-
that. It's like, dude, I've taken girls on bike rides before. You always give the girl the helmet.
Exactly.
It's the
Because
thing-
you're a gentleman, and having been a cop, you would think that he would know safety first when it came to motorcycle etiquette.
So they pull out, watch them slide down the roadway, and then the car takes up chase. I guess it's a gripping chase scene at about 30 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, I'm like, really? You can't you're in a motorcycle. I do not understand this whatsoever.
And he clearly saw him at one point because they stopped, and then all of a sudden Cindy has a helmet now. What?
Where did it materialize from? Because I was trying to
So they
figure
come
that
like
out.
to not quite an intersection, but a cross street, and he stops and looks back, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, those guys that were 20 feet behind us are now a couple blocks away. They must be following us." So he throttles down the street now, and they're on a hilly, sandy road. Bike starts fishtailing a little bit, and he goes over a rise, disappears behind it. Again, we're like in the mountain, hilly area, dirt road, squealing tires as if he's drift racing on a tarmac somewhere. But take our word for it, it was an accident. Okay.
Huh.
We watch the bad guys pull up. They look over the rise now and they see the motorcycle down. She's laying down without a helmet. the helmet's a completely arbitrary thing all of a sudden. And Scar gets out of the car, looks at the other guys, is like, well, that's it. We did our job. And drives off. Like, doesn't check on her, make sure she's got no pulse, nothing. But Rick starts to come to, takes off his helmet.
Again, where did it come from? I don't know. Continuity
over-
sucked in this movie, by the
Yeah.
way, and that was just the least of its problems.
Her red helmet disappeared now, and he crawls over to her, and she's dead. Okay, I guess. Like,
See, not wearing a helmet kills.
exactly.
Just saying.
But
Should have had her helmet on. She
he's-
probably took her life.
Rick is so affected by the passing of his new bride that he just about reacts. You would this is a guy that wants to be a Shakespearean actor and sees his new wife is dead, and he goes, "Oh," and kind of tilts his head down. That's his emotional reaction to her death.
He was pretty stoic, I gotta say. I would have lost my ever-loving mind, but no, apparently he couldn't do that because it wasn't Shakespearean enough.
Yeah, this is how nondescript his reaction was. I'm thinking to myself, well, is she dead or unconscious? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Cut to a funeral scene. Okay. That's how we find out she's dead.
Yeah. I was like, oh, whoa, she died? That's it, and that's wild because if you read the synopsis over on Wikipedia, which I did just, for fun, that's not what happens in the synopsis, by the way. According to the synopsis, Rick and Cindy live happily ever after. It's Huck's wife who was killed by the Satanist.
Well, I have an explanation.
Okay.
Well, as Paul and I had discussed on the first episode of this film, yes, this is a two-parter. It's that bad a film.
Yeah.
This movie actually has 3 different titles.
And 3 different plots.
And each title has not just like a director's cut or extended cut or television, but different resolutions, different plot points.
Completely.
And so I would almost dare say that test audiences didn't react well to Cindy's dying. So there ain't no way in hell this movie ever went to a test audience because
no. Mm-mm.
You go to a test screening and you fill out a comment card. Did you like this? What was your rating of this? How did you? There's like a series of questions on a firm cardboard card. This movie would require a booklet. If I was in the page 14. Okay. The Satan cult. Let's get it. Page 18. How many damn jobs does Normad have? Page 27. But apparently Cindy is dead. Her parents, I was pleased to see, made their attendance on this. Which I thought they probably would have been happy that she was dead, but okay. They were there. And Dad had some kind of distant comment. I knew this was her lifestyle was going to catch up to her. Something like that. I really wanted him and Rick to just go into fisticuffs at this point.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping.
I mean, just pander to me a little bit here. Like, you damn Satanist killed my drug-addled daughter. I'm gonna, something. But okay. So Cindy's dead. Rick has motivation now. And over at Normad's house, now he, by the way, let's add to Normad's resume. He's also a very proficient drug dealer. Has a Spanish individual, no offense, Aggie, arrive
None
at his
taken.
home.
Again, stereotype.
Yeah. He arrives in his limo with, his comely wife. I'm going to say it, nice MILF. Didn't get naked, though. Come on, Rick. Disappointed.
No,
there.
but she had a nice rack and all that shiny look. I don't know what she had, a disco-like top with a plunging neckline.
Like a 90s mafia maiden look to her, big puffy hair.
She
and
looked
all that.
totally like she belonged on the Hispanic version of Scarface.
Yeah, that definitely. Wait, wasn't Scarface Spanish?
No, I thought he was. Yes, he was, but this is the Spanish version of the American version of the Spanish version.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, look at that. Now, go fly, pelican. Ooh.
In other words, the Michelle Pfeiffer character would have been Hispanic. That would have been her.
Gotcha. Well, they come in the house. He's selling drugs to Normad, and they try out the product, and he's like, "Wow, that's got a nice little zing to it. Very good product." And basically places an order. Okay, I'll take it. Then he picks up his phone, the drug dealer, and starts talking to somebody on the phone in Spanish. And Normad tells him, "You're in my house. You speak English."
And then he proceeds to talk some more in Spanish, and then he switches to English.
Well, it's like, yeah, what if he's calling a dude that doesn't speak English?
Which I find it ironic because, as you know, or I don't know if anybody else knows, William Smith was well versed in several languages, to include Spanish.
Oh.
The guy was brilliant. He was actually working on his PhD before he decided to go to Hollywood and try out for a film or something, and then yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Far be it from me to tell a PhD candidate he was misguided, and yet here we are.
Yeah, he was great. I don't get this movie at all, but he was great.
Well, on the same evening,
Yeah.
a distraught Rick. I'm making assumptions here because Rick has not displayed much emotion whatsoever. Destitute, distraught, sad. You know, these are emotions beyond his reach. But he creeps up to the property with a bow and arrow and promptly picks off a guy that's standing on the roof of the house, because of course he is. But hey, it gives us a rail plunge death as the guy absorbs an arrow from Rick. So there we go. And in the course of the meeting, then one of Normad's henchmen comes into the meeting and is like, "Hey, one of the guards got killed." I love the fact that they don't name him. Like, "Hey, boss, Alan just bought it. We found him dead." No, just one of the guards. I got too many. I can't learn everybody's name. Sorry, but Normad now has the natural reaction of, "Oh, the guy selling me the drugs clearly killed my guard," and shoots him and his hot wife right there in front of him at his desk.
Oh, and it was funny because this he had been charming to both of them, like, "Please come in. I would love to treat you to a cocktail, blah blah blah." So we get, and then of course the other guy says, "No, we're just here to talk business." And he says, "Okay, fine." So they go in, and now he shoots the guy, and then says, "Bye, bitch." Shoots her. And I'm not sure if anybody else caught this part, but in the office was very sparse. I'm sure you noticed that, but did you notice that the seats in the office were lawn chairs?
No, I didn't.
There were the semicircular iron ones that you get for outside patio dining room sets.
Oh, you mean a wrought iron?
Yes, yeah,
Chairs.
those kind of chairs, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing in the office?
Well,
Which
this
was the
scene
size of a
required-
closet, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, most of the interiors are very dark. You don't even see the walls, so
Nope.
probably didn't want to display the fact that it was shot in his living room. So Normad has now killed his drug dealer, and the only thing I can assume now is this approximates the climax of our movie. As Rick and his wife beater enters the premises, we proceed to have a gunfight in a hallway in which I think could go either way here, but I think they replayed the same scene of Rick leaning out and shooting his gun over and over again.
Hmm.
Because his expression doesn't change anything. He just leans out, bang, bang, leans back in. And
And at no time was any single weapon reloaded, by the way.
no, of course not.
Not once.
Who's got time to count? But he proceeds to pick off one after another without ever leaving that particular position. Just lean out of the doorway, pop up, lean back in. Guy at the very far end has an automatic weapon and just starts unloading this. And while the guy is firing, he leans over, and hits the like. Never once even encountered a bullet himself. I didn't see a single ricochet around him. So he heroically, I guess, takes care of all the henchmen, and now he can have his one-on-one conflict with Normad. I can't love that name enough. The two have fisticuffs, sort of. He almost comes close to hitting him a couple times, and I watched this twice, and I didn't even really see him stab him with the knife. I just saw Normad kind of lean back, and there's a blade suddenly out of him. Okay. Got the drop on him, and I am going to see you in hell. Okay, then reserve a table for, I forget even what he said. It was like the line was so banal, I couldn't even remember his quip to that. So Rick got Normad, killed him, took care of all the business, goes to the cemetery in his red, white, and blue denim jacket with flowers. The nun comes out of the woods next to him, and then the movie just stops. Like credits.
That was it. I was just like, wait, should there be some more?
Yeah, I rewound it because I thought, like, I don't know, did
Did I
lean on the
skip
remote
something?
or something? Wait, it goes back to
you-
flowers.
you-
The nun doesn't say a word to him.
No, the nun doesn't even stop walking
She
when the
comes
movie
out.
ends.
He's like kneeling at a gravestone, and she comes walking out and just fade to black.
Yep, that's it.
What did we? Huh?
I did. I said, oh wait, I must have skipped something. So before the autoplay started again, I went back and rewound it a little bit. Like I kept pushing the 10-second thing, and then I watched it again. I said, no, fade to black as she's walking up there, and you know that she's about to talk to him because she opens her mouth and to tell him something, and no, we're not having any of the nun now. Just forget it. We are closing shop right now.
It's like, wow. I wanted. It felt like I should be disappointed at the way they sent it, but it seemed oddly. I can't say perfect, appropriate.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, the movie ends this way. It just goes to a cul-de-sac and stops. So,
I could not have predicted it, but considering how it just fade to black and then all of the credits and the hokey music, and I'm like, I need to know who the editor of he was probably the editor too.
oh, I don't doubt it. In one of the versions, I forget which title it is, though. Apparently, he made he shot additional scenes, which includes a poodle that does karate.
Oh, wait, you're talking about
You
a dog?
heard me correctly. This is the rumor.
The dog does karate.
It's a scene with him and a poodle doing karate. Yes. So I'm
That's bizarre.
fascinated for a number of reasons just on that description alone. How?
You're gonna go look for it, aren't you?
Oh, hell yes, I am. If I can get it on DVD. I just want to, like, how do you fold that into the movie we just watched? Like, where would a karate poodle fit into the movie we just saw?
Okay, on a scale of 1 to Miami Connection, where would you rank this one?
Well, spoiler alert. Might that might be a Mount Rushmore feature coming up.
Oh wow.
If that answers your question.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, this is I cannot, for one, absolutely love the poster for this that's out there. It is gorgeous. It is a work of art.
It is pretty epic.
The color, everything. And it is such a departure from what's on screen that it cracks me up even more. Like somebody out there made up the graphics on this and probably spent more time than they did filming the movie itself. This is basically ineptitude captured on celluloid. It is simply I don't even know where this is a guy that needed guidance. He needed somebody to show him how to direct, how to act, how to step aside and let somebody else do this.
I'm like I said, my guess is that there was a high quantity of drugs involved, but I really don't know if Wings Hauser was the type. But there was also, notice I didn't say anything about William Smith because I'm pretty sure he wasn't the type. Also, where did he get the funding for this? Because it's almost as if he had, maybe it was blackmail. Maybe he had some dirt on somebody. That's where he got all the camera equipment and everything.
I think this is self-financed. I think a lot of people were doing things as a favor or wanting to get a screen credit, hence the women willing to get naked.
Well, there is truth to that because in order to keep up your SAG membership and your insurance, you had to provide work. You had to have,
I was going to go there for Wings Hauser. Because that would seem to feel like, I got to book some work this month so I can keep my insurance up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons he was on at least 3 times that I recall on Murder, She Wrote. So, and yeah, he was the bad guy a couple of times, but he was a good guy on one of them. So, got to give him props.
Yeah, I mean the guy had a good body of work. He did a lot of direct-to-video stuff, a lot of cable movies, that kind of thing. He wasn't really breakout star in Hollywood, but he has a resume.
Yeah, and he really enjoyed what he did. And for him, it was the joy of acting, not so much as the whole being recognized. He would go to cons, conventions and everything, and he would hang out with everybody. There was no sitting at a place and then signing autographs for $10 or $50 or whatever. No, he would go and somebody asked him, "Can you sign this?" "Oh, sure." And he'll just sign it. The one that I was at in Houston, he was there. He signed people's T-shirts. He signed a girl's pack of cigarettes. Another chick's boots. I mean, it was funny. It was hell. It was so awesome. He really was. He enjoyed what he did. And William Smith was one that was really underrated. I mean, his body of work was extensive. I remember him when he was I think the TV show was called Laredo. It was a Western, and he was one of the marshals on it, I think. And I remember watching that when I was young, thinking, wow, that guy is so cute. Not thinking that this show was made before I was born. Okay. So imagine my shock. But yeah.
But no, he came out of the 50s where everybody grounded. He used to be a stunt man. I mean, he's done a ton of crap. So this is the same. And when we talk about the SAG-AFTRA, that's the actors union. There is a stipulation that you work within a certain period of time to maintain your membership and insurance. That's not a lie, because that's exactly how Ian Ziering found himself in Sharknado.
That's right.
He needed to do something on a deadline. He was like, all right, I'll take it. And look what happened. His career has exploded as a result.
Well, and the writer of Sharknado, I mean, his took off too. I mean,
oh yeah, Thunder 11 has a body of work as a result.
And it's
Two
all
of
fun.
which are on my wall right above me as we speak.
Yes. I know.
Well, I'll let you close things out here. What final thoughts do you have on this misbegotten masterpiece?
Never again. Actually, I wouldn't mind watching the other two. I want to see them. I'm very curious. I want to see them all because, like I said, what was on Wikipedia was not jiving with what I was watching. And I was like, did I misread it? And I actually paused the film to go read it again. And I said, no, Cindy's dead. I don't understand this, but okay, let's go with it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense because yes, as I was reading about the film, they did say that there were 3. Yeah, it had been released under 3, and it
Yeah,
had been rewritten in certain parts, and it
I
wasn't a
think
very
one
long
of them.
movie.
No, but I think one of the versions had far less skin in it, so that's pretty much why I leaned on this version. And then whichever, I think it might be Get Even is the other that
All one word, by the way. Get even.
that features the karate poodle. I think we're gonna have to track that one down for sure. Gotta see what that is all about. All right, well, that's going to do it for this particular episode. We finally put a bow on this one, and we've etched our first head on the Mount Rushmore edifice of bad movies for this show. So, Aggie, why don't you let people know where they can find more of your magnificence?
You can find me 8:30 p.m. Eastern Tuesday nights doing the Cocktail Lounge with you. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Friday nights doing He Said, She Said with our producer, Rick. The first Monday of every month, Jeff and I do Spirited Books at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And the second Wednesday of every month, the guys get together for Toxic Masculinity, and I bring the drink of the evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. And how about you?
I can be found over at townhall.com. I've got a daily media column there where I cover the foibles and mistakes found in the press. It's called Rift from the Headlines. I'm also on the front page of Red State nearly every day, and I got a twice weekly podcast there called Liable Sources, where I go into even more detail on the problems found in the press. And you can hear me right here on this network. Next Thursday, it's going to be me and Ordy Packard as we go through all the vital information from Hollywood on the business side of the show called The Culture Shift. And as my co-host here has alerted you, every Tuesday evening at 8:30 on the Cocktail Lounge, where we have fun, sports, art, crazy news, you name it, we'll cover it. And if you need more of me than that, let's face it, you do. You head over to Jitter. I am at Martini Shark. All right, Aggie, I want to thank you so much for filling in on this episode, and I want to apologize profusely for infecting you with this film.
It's okay. I'll get over it.
See, I know her well enough that the undercurrent of resentment is coming right through. I can feel it.
It's okay. I know where you sleep.
Oh no, I'm going to translate for those who don't know her. That I'm gonna translate for those who don't know her. That I get over it had the tone of I'm going to stab you in your sleep. So
yeah,
just so you know. But yeah, as far as the Mount Rushmore stuff, I think we need to change the name. It should be Mount Suckmore. Just saying. But
that might apply. That could
definitely
apply. All right. Well, Paul and I should be back in a fortnight as we enter our second entry into that significance of our favorite bad movies going on, and it'll be right here in 2 weeks on Disasters in the Making.
Oh my God.
So he'll be back next week or he'll be back in 2 weeks because this one's over now. So he'll magically be back.
Means love and despair. Let the system burn. Now direction has been turned. You gotta go. Damn, did I tell you this was killing bust?
Okay, we are clear, but I think we got yanked off because it's not showing that we're live anymore. Oh wait, yeah, it is. Never mind. Never mind. The button just disappeared on me, so I'll have to
Okay.
fix that in post. We're good now. Dude, I'm
Okay.
going to try reset and restart